and it should be coming up on my channel any second. And yeah, let's just see. Is it already up yet? Okay, it is officially up. So, how's it going,
Awesome.
everybody? My name's Jax Atlantis, and this is Zinarta. Okay, hold on. I had
Hi.
the other audio playing to my. I'm Jax Atlantis, and this is Zinarta. And today we're going to be doing some full moon poetry. We've got a beautiful Libra full moon right now, and it is, as a Libra moon, it's a good day in my neighborhood. It's things are going well. How are the energies feeling for you?
It's pretty wild because I'm here in New York City, so in the center of everything. And but yeah, it feels like really significant because I have a rising Cancer, and also my North Node is in Cancer, so I always get affected by the moon cycle. Yeah.
How has it been as far as feeling the energy of all the people around you, just sort of feeling like everything that's been going on
Mm,
recently? It's been intense over there.
yeah, I think my secret is in to limit the amount of news that I consume. So I like listen to my governor usually about like
Hmm.
that 1 hour report. I'll check that in just for informational purposes. And I Zoom calls, phone dates, all that fun stuff,
Mm.
meditation, just kind of things to just keep me grounded. And also just, I think rituals are really important, a morning ritual, an evening ritual, just to kind of stay grounded with the energies. But to be honest and like open and vulnerable, it's been pretty wild with the quarantine here in New York City. And it just like this past week, it was the first time it felt like a little bit closer to home. uh a local like shop that I would go visit all the time, I just found out someone just recently transitioned
Oh,
that
wow.
was there. And then this past week, a good friend of mine, my friend Olin, he was in the ICU for a couple of weeks and he transitioned. And that having that experience made it feel so much more real. That's the best way I could
Yeah.
put it. And he's just he I got the honor of working with him on a short film. He did a really cool short film called Rush Call Clown, and it was really amazing. And I'm just grateful that I got to work with him and know him for the last couple of years. But yeah, he just was such a brilliant artist. And if anything, that experience is teaching me. I'm trying to take that the pain or the loss and turn that into art. I think that's what he would want anyway, right? To turn your
Yeah.
grief, to turn your pain, to turn your messes, the shame, whatever the feelings that are coming up for people, and turn it into art. So I just think it's really cool that you have a space for people to share poetry, to share, all the things they're navigating
Thank
together.
you. Yeah, no, absolutely. I love this. And yeah, I do galactic poetry with Haley Lynn, the Lucid Mystic, every Monday. And when you had told me that you'd be interested in doing some poetry here too, I was like, heck yeah, that'd be great. Like, let's do it. And even I think at the point we had originally talked about it, like nothing had necessarily climaxed out in the collective like it has right now. Like
Yeah.
it's intense out there. It's there's a lot going on, and I think that one of the cool things, since with full moons we can do such a release, we can like let so many things go as
Mm,
they've like built up and built up. So I think it'd be awesome if, for me, for you, and for everyone in the audience to like, if you're in the audience, like chat something you want to release. And when we do a line of poetry, I want to try and sort of channel what you're going through and releasing. So we're going to make like a full moon ritual poem, if you will. It's going to be like a living thing. And once it's read out loud and it's completed, then the poem has like dispersed that energy, is kind of the feeling.
mm.
So I thought that would be awesome. Zanata, you had talked about that earlier about, having this be its own form of ritual. And I thought that was like so perfect. It's so like, it would be perfect that way.
Well, I
So
mean, people forget about that like we're 98% water, like our bodies. So we're very attuned to the moon. So just like the oceans or the lakes or anything that's water based is deeply affected by the moon cycle, so are we. So,
yeah,
yeah.
God, no, I completely agree. Now tell everyone here, I'm almost done sharing all this stuff out. Tell them a little
Mhm.
bit about what it is you do and some of the things you're working on.
Oh, awesome. Well, First off, Jax is amazing. If you've never had a session with him, I was lucky enough to have a really great session like about 2 weeks before everything kind of changed here in New York City. But I am a filmmaker. I write, produce, direct. I consider myself a creative entrepreneur. As well as I am a certified crisis counselor. I feel very passionate about the communities, survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, sex trafficking. I also feel very passionate about the Asian community and transforming that, whether that's integration of holistic medicine with modern medicine. I think that would alter people's lifespans and also increase recovery for people of traumatic brain injury. So I like to, in my holistic, I also a holistic practitioner, I like to use guided meditation. And I also like to integrate it because I felt for me in my own personal journey of healing for myself, like I would say I've taken a lot of deep personal work, I would say like 10 years ago. So it's like a decade in the making of leadership programs and transformational work and fire walks and all that kind of fun stuff. And for me, when I integrated the power of all the senses, so I like to, when I do a session with someone, I use guided meditation and I integrate it with tuning forks and sound healing and Palo Santo, or well, that's in danger now. So I try to watch where I source that from. But then I also maybe use sage, depending on the person. And we also use power animals. And I also like to just integrate all those tools and then plus my life coaching background. And so just kind of integrate everything together. And it's like a 90-minute session because it's like so much to cover and I always go over, but it's about 90 minutes. Yeah, and I've been doing that one-on-one. I usually do that in person. So this is a very like exciting transition for me and like how to transform that into a online type of class or one-on-one experience. And I'm just like really excited about that. I just, as Jax knew, I have a beautiful company that I just gave birth to, Love Letters to My Mother. And that is going to be launched April the 20th as far as like that. And that is more film, TV. If there is a script idea that you want, if there is a book you want to write, anything like that, I kind of I help other people or co-collaborate or co-produce with other producers to make it into either a film, a TV show, a mini series, or another form of media, and look at what are the options and creating more content basically of underrepresented voices that you may not normally see. So that's like a little bit like, a little bit
You're
of
a mutable side, all right?
me.
Yeah. Okay, well, I do a little bit of this and 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 this. Yeah, it's like, damn, that's like a lot of skills. How's it going, Leah? We got Leah in the house. We actually have Haley Lynn, the Lucid Mystic.
Awesome.
Galactic poetry every Monday, so that's awesome. Haley, will you tell us something that you want to release for this full moon? And we're going to devote a line of poetry to people's full moon releases. Awesome. So Leah and Haley, let us know something you'd like to release. To get started, you want to go ahead and let's make the title for that poem. Normally what Haley and I have been doing, we've been taking, one of us takes a color, the other one takes a noun. How about we mix it up a little bit and you can think of a noun and I'll think of an adjective.
Okay.
Yeah. So just think of anything.
All right. This is so perfect. A phoenix.
Phoenix.
Like the phoenix. Yeah.
I'm going to say original. We're going to call the poem Original Phoenix.
Perfect. I love it.
I like that. Resistance. Okay, so Lucid
Ooh.
Mystic wants to release resistance today. So I'm gonna do a line for that. And then Leah, let us know what you want to release as well. And anyone else who shows up here in the chat. As far as our first line, do you want to go ahead and take the very first line?
Yeah.
All
And
right.
I'm like so curious, like just to like hype it up. Well, like Lucid Mystic, what is it that in particular that you have the most
Ooh.
resistance around?
You're getting called out, Haley. You're getting called out.
Yeah, no,
What are you
I'm
resisting,
like
Haley? What are you? Haley always resisting things.
Okay. No, I could come up with I was just gonna make it tailored. I was curious because just integrate the collaboration, but it's cool.
We'll both do a line about your resistance.
Yeah.
I'll talk about your general resistance. She'll talk about your specific resistance.
Okay, cool. So I say the first line, right?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so original Phoenix.
So, original Phoenix, releasing the boxes it was placed in at birth to get ready to fly into the heavens for its rebirth. I like that, and it rhymes. Okay.
Oh, I didn't need to.
That works. That works. Okay, challenge accepted. So, what do I need to release? And Haley said, I would say just basically letting things flow the way they are meant to without creating a perfect idea of how things should be. So it's kind of like overall. Good question. Yeah. And then Leah said, being seen. So this first line, is this the thing you're releasing? Releasing the boxes it was placed in at birth?
Well, I guess I could say that's when I'm releasing, but I feel like I was using that as an example of a universal theme because I've resisted being placed in boxes my entire life. So that's why I've embraced the nerd and the jock in me and the artist in me. I don't think you're limited by a box. Yeah.
Well, that's really cool.
So
It's just
the
a
way I
nerd
live
and
my
jock
life.
and artist, just the classic nerd jock artist paradigm. Ugh. All right,
Well, no, meaning like you don't have to be limited by like
right.
this paradigm.
No, I'm the same. I'm the same. I'm the
Really?
esoteric. What am I? I'm an esoteric, philosophical, artsy nerd. I think something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And like, while Jax meditates in the next line, I feel like, just to touch on that theme, I feel like when we're born again, almost like if there's another rebirth that happens, there is the story we're born into by our conditioned environment and the ones that's placed on us by society, right? Like that, these labels. And then there comes this period in which we get to define who we are in the world, and it's constant and it's evolving, kind of like what Lucid Mystic said. It's like being in the flow, right? Like it almost feels like she's like a joyous adventurer that's willing to try new things and also trust in the and having compassion for the experimenting part, and exploring what her preferences are, and also giving her the space to choose newly, right? because we're always evolving and changing. So it's a beautiful thing. Oh, I love that. Leah, that is so beautiful. I fly on the wings of Phoenix across the sky, floating freely in my mind, soaring to higher sides, and soon by most wing spread gliding still. Awesome. I'm looking on my phone, guys. I love it. Oh, and that's me. I'm House of Judea on YouTube. So, but I'm also Zinarta on Instagram. That's like the best way to connect as well on there if you guys are. And I just noticed there are more people that are on. So we were asking earlier, what are people releasing? You could just like type it in the chat for the full moon. We're 4 minutes away for it being seen in the sky. It's like a super moon, actually. It's like a pink super moon. Pretty powerful in your sign, Jax.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
All right, here we go. Here's your line. You wanna recite it?
Yeah, let's see. The steel chains of others' projections turn to reflections of sweet rivers.
Ooh, okay.
All right, it's Haley's turn. You got to make a line for Haley. I'll make a line for Leah afterwards.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, Haley. Yeah, no, it just starts to flow after a while. And Leah made her own line. Yeah, I fly on the wings of Phoenix across the sky, floating freely in my mind, soaring to other sides, to higher sides, and soon by most wings spread gliding still. I love it. And Haley made one too. All right. Yeah, thank you, Leah. So we're gonna have everyone's poetry in here. That's so awesome. You guys put forth some lines for this. This is gonna sound good. And the crazy thing is, at the end, it's gonna sound like one person wrote it, even though it was, we all have different styles and different ways of saying it.
Mm-hmm. That was longer than one line.
A little bit, but a little bit. Okay.
I mean, she Lucid Mystic really inspired me, Haley.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to encompass what she said. So yeah.
Hype indeed. Hype indeed. They melt like,
Um. Oh yeah, no, go for it.
oh, okay. They melt like broken glass, no longer walls of resistance, so I can once again know what it means to love like never before. I flow with the dance of life, always surrendered to the joy of flying backwards and forwards. Okay, okay. I've got a line for this. Here we go.
Awesome. I hope it's not like too much feedback, but I'm actually gonna pull out my tuning forks because why
Go for
not?
it. Go for it. Oh God. You ready, guys? Tuning forks time.
So we could just, do some grounding, some breathing, pull out your pens or paper, write out all the things that you want to release and whatever your process is. I know for me, like sometimes like the act of like burning it, or some people flush it down a toilet, all kinds of things. Some people burn it and, bury it. Whatever your process is for full moon, the releasing. A little Saturn and Neptune frequency sound.
Okay. So I think I want to read the whole thing, and then we'll read this very last one I just did because it was a tiny bit more than one sentence. By, by a tiny bit, I mean a lot more than one sentence.
It's okay. Abundance.
Abundance is exactly right, you guys. And then we'll see if it's finished or if it needs more. And if you guys have anything else you want to throw in there, let us know. Okay. Original Phoenix. Releasing the boxes it was placed in at birth, get ready to fly to the heavens for its rebirth. The steel chains of others' projections turn to reflections of sweet rivers as I fly on the wings of a phoenix across the sky, floating freely in my mind, soaring to higher sides, and soon by wingspread gliding still. A soul of fire, a mind of waves, a phoenix of gold which it was enlaced, a crystallized mystery, satisfied treasure, an inner awakening that feeds your soul pleasure. They melt like broken glass, no longer walls of resistance, so I can once again know what it means to love like never before. I flow with the dance of life, always surrendered to the joy of flying backwards and forwards. Many sides, every feather, the irony of sudden weather. Many loves and many pains have crafted talons sharp as flames. My glowing heart a volcanic touch, bound by will and purest love. My freedom is and cannot stop. In times of flight, my eyes not lost. Will this tree reach out to me, or will its branches set me free?
Wow. Beautiful.
It's crazy. That does sound like it was written from multiple points of view, but by the same author. It's so crazy.
Yeah, well, that's what music it does too, right? Like the opening and the chorus and the closing are very maybe like slightly different tones, but
Yeah.
once they're interlaced together, it's a beautiful little symphony of music.
That is
Yeah.
so awesome. Yeah, I love it. What do you think? Is it done?
I'm curious to see what everyone else says, but yeah, I think it's
Okay, you guys, is it done? Is the poem done?
done.
Speak now or forever hold your poetry. Well, this definitely flowed very easy tonight. That was awesome. It's a crazy thing going live and writing poetry. Like, first of all, going live by itself is already a thing, like that's already just that is crazy. Writing poetry is already difficult. Going live and doing poetry it's awesome because it just, you're basically just showing your heart to the world. You're just sort of showing that internal process and what it is you think about, the way you think about things. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and it's pretty brave of you and also of me too. I'm gonna like acknowledge myself and everyone in the chat to open up, everyone to that creative process, because sometimes it's a very like, solitude kind of process as a writer sometimes. But to open it up and openly collaborate and like see it in the moment is a very, special thing to see.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I guess we're all co-authors, guys. So this will be a poem written by Jax and Zinarta and Haley and Leah. So this will be once I publish this as a book, because I'll obviously, I'll self-publish a book of poetry of all these poems and compile them all together. Then you guys, we're gonna be famous. People are gonna love it. Let me copy all of this.
Awesome.
And then I'll put it over into a note. And then at the end, I'll make sure and put this in the comments so you guys can share it and stuff.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. And it's funny, after having read the poem, I definitely feel like I've released what it is that, that I was holding on to. Because for me, it was definitely, other people's projections, other people's points of view on something that, just worrying about the fact that they were thinking something different, that, it really doesn't matter if people think the same as me, or if people, can get on the same page about certain things in life. In the end, like, I have my life, I'm living my life, and that's what matters. And so that's what that release is for.
That's a very, very liberating thing.
Yeah. It feels good. It feels good. I feel like I'm free of all that.
Yeah. That's like a weight that holds a lot of people back from taking action or following through on dreams, is like the weight of waiting for permission versus just giving yourself permission to,
Yeah. And when people reveal themselves, it's a way that you get your freedom. You didn't lose anything. They just revealed themselves, You get to do whatever you're going to do about that.
Beautifully said.
Thank you. So Zinarta, so when they find you on YouTube, you've commented here, so they can go to your House of Judea channel. As far as finding you on Instagram, you're just there under Zinarta, right?
Yeah, so it's Zinarta, Zinarta, just as like what it says in the title of the video. And yeah, just you could find me there. I'm actually going to be focused. I share mostly there. I'll build more content there first, probably doing like Instagram lives and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date as far as like updating of my website. I also have my and who knows, maybe I'll like take the leap and do a YouTube channel as well. But
yes you will. Will. And I know you will, because now I have to be on your channel, otherwise this will be uneven. You know, if you're just on my channel, then this is going to be imbalanced. I'm gonna have a problem with. You know me. I'm just always ready to throw down, and so you know, so yeah, you'll have to make your YouTube channel just so that I can be on it, and the scales will be even. And then you can do whatever, and then you can, you know, maybe you'll just fall in love with it in the process. But
Yeah, no, this was great. This was my very first YouTube live, guys. So
yeah,
very brand new, you know.
that's awesome. So if people want to reach out to you, like on Instagram, for example, what are some, do you perform any services right now, like long distance, like for instance,
Yeah,
the animal?
I'm working with a couple people on scripts that they want to develop, whether like some are ideas, some of them are first drafts, some of them are a
Mm.
book and they want to turn it into a movie. And then I also am doing transitioning my holistic healing stuff to Zoom. And so, yeah, if
Mm.
they want to do that, they can reach out to me on Instagram to hear more about that. If they want to do like guided meditation, sound healing. I could also even do like one of my favorite like Sanskrit mantras that I'm doing now is Soham Dhammaklim Mayaha. And that's one
Mm.
about following your dharma, right? But
Okay,
everyone
cool.
has a different, in Sanskrit, every word means a different thing. So I could also even tailor like a chant. It's something about chanting. I think it's pretty powerful when you sit in just a few minutes and you chant, and it's something about the way you latch onto the words when you don't know the meaning is that it just
Yeah.
your subconscious mind takes it in a different way. So I feel like chanting is another form of meditation that's actually very powerful and simple to do. And I also, you know, believe in mirror work where you do, let's say, a special affirmation or whatever you want to, you know, transcend. Let's say people are releasing things tonight, right? And so if you would flip that, what would that look like? What would you be a stand for? What are you creating? Who would you have to be to have a certain goal? And you literally say that I am statement, and like, because who you are, like, I'm not going to take a credit. It's like a mentor mindset. That's like who you are that comes out of here. What comes out of your mouth is, it's like you have to be rigorous to your speaking because that's like a reflection of who you are. Like your words are powerful. And to
Yeah.
say those words, let's say in a mirror in the morning, and so just whatever that mantra is, say it in the mirror. So if anything, I would love to like leave people with this, like, you know, knowledge, you know, very freely. I think in times like this that we're living in, whether you're in quarantine or not, morning rituals, evening rituals are so powerful. So experiment, have fun with it. If you're not able to go outside, dance, put on music, move your body, connect with spirit. And yeah, I'm always like a message away on Instagram. If you guys like have
Awesome.
any questions as you guys experiment with that, because I think it's just a really important time for us to support each other in our own breakthrough and healing, and all that's going to happen through community, you know? So
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. And yeah, it's funny. I personally was skeptical of chanting for a while, and then I had sat down in this circle a few years ago, and there was this guy who was leading it, and he was very into it. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. I'm an open-minded person, like, you know, I was a little bit skeptical of it, but I'm open-minded. So I gave it a try, and the chant I think was the, I don't want to butcher it. It's like Om Gan Shri Ganapatai, I think
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
So that it was like mind blowing how I felt after that. And there was also this little ritual that was with it where you were taking this piece of rice and throwing it into this fire as well, over and over and
Oh,
over. And there was like, you had to stick with the, you know, with the words and with the chant and with the movement at the same time. And it was very interesting. You get in this trance-like state, and then it frees up, it unwinds so much of the stuff that you were like, was dead important to you earlier that day. And then it just suddenly, it's not a big deal, you know? So it's pretty cool.
no,
Yeah.
it's like you're singing to your soul. Like that's what I
Right.
like to look
Yeah.
at it. Like it's like you're singing, and it moves something around, and it does this quiet little, you know, things for your molecules. Like I learned it actually for the first time, and when I did meditation teacher training with my friend Natalie, and it was like, whoa, this is so cool. So there's no right or wrong way in your spiritual journey. Just like do
Mm.
what resonates with you, and have fun, be willing to experiment and do new types of, you know, meditation. But I was someone who did not I could not do the whole like quiet sitting still thing. So I found guided meditations were powerful for me. And then I found sound meditation, and then I found mantras. And so, but just do what resonates for you, you know?
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think so too. I was, you know, for me, I thought meditation was something that I just wasn't able to do because my mind was just too active. And one little helpful trick, and I don't know if you've ever, you know, tried to experiment with this, is if you just give your mind a really remedial task, like whether it's a chant or whether you're just saying, you know, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, and your mind starts to get frustrated, and then it's like, okay, fine, it just gives up control. It's like it gets so bored with being stuck doing that same task that it's like you just and there's a feeling, the specific physical sensation that happens where it's so similar to the bells that people commonly use to open a meditation. It's the feeling as if it's like a gong within your mind, and it goes throughout your body. It's this release that happens, and once that release happens, meditation becomes crazy. So for all those people that think that they can't meditate, oh, I'm just not one of those people who can't. It's like, yes, you can. There's just, you have to find your way of getting there, but you absolutely can. We can all find stillness, and not being able to find stillness is it's not, you know, it's something that you're holding back like a lot of stress and a lot of different things from not being able to find stillness. So find your way and try out a bunch of different things, and once you do it, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's amazing how much we're so like trained to go, go, go. We don't take the time to even just breathe. So like square breathing, I like to do, and where, you know, you breathe, like hold the breath in 4 counts, and then hold it there, and then release it, and then just let it sit there. And another one I like to do in the stillness is maybe lighting a candle and just focusing on the flame. And that's another little,
I like that one too.
Yeah, and just seeing what arises. And what you pointed to, which I thought is really good, it's important to know, is like some people don't realize it's okay to have other thoughts. You just go back to the mantra, you just witness, and then all of a sudden you're being a witness to all the fears and the doubts. And that's what in meditation you practice that, and then you could translate that into your whole life when the fears and doubts come up, and it's like you're it's not who you are anymore, and then there's distance, and then you just be like, well, thank you for sharing, I appreciate you, but I'm gonna do this anyway. But I so appreciate, I know, I understand you have this fear, it's okay. And that's like, you know, your inner child, or like the fear that you, whatever it is to have compassion, but then also to have there be distance. And I think that starts to happen when you meditate and you just like witness the thoughts. You don't judge the thoughts. You don't do that, because that's not a good cycle either. You don't judge yourself. It defeats the whole purpose. But yeah,
definitely. Well, everybody, make sure to reach out to Zinarta. I'm sure there's a million things that she can help you with. She's a super talented Pisces who's mastered a million different types of things, because that's just what Pisces does. They're just really, really, really good at like a ton of different stuff. So definitely check her out, and follow her on Instagram, find her YouTube channel, subscribe immediately so that she'll be able to bring me on and I'll be able to do an interview over there. That would be really awesome. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Thank you guys for being a part of this. I know it was, you know, kind of surprised. It was something that I wasn't, you know, that I didn't fully schedule to do out here, but I'm really glad that you guys showed up. And for all of you who shared the video, it's invaluable when you guys share it. So thank you so much. Even if you're watching the replay and you share it out, that'd be super cool. So thank you guys, and I will talk to you all later.
Thank you. Bye.